Hello everybody and welcome to day 2 of my attempt to inform and educate you and also perhaps entertain you by discussing a bit of what is going on around us from my point of view. I have no axe to grind, I have no political opinion to put forward, I'm not sponsored by anybody and I don't work for any organisation who is particularly interested in any of this. You will see, for those observant, that I haven't had, that I've done for myself a lockdown haircut. I hope that it's satisfactory. I'm satisfied with it. It was incredibly difficult because I couldn't see the back of my head, but there we go. So what do I want to talk down today? Well, I want to talk about what has happened so far since yesterday. We're in 3 weeks plus, nearly 4 weeks of lockdown now. I saw, and I can look from my window and see, more people than I've ever seen before walking up and down the road, more people purporting to exercise perhaps. I didn't realise we were such an active country before this and that so many people exercised. And perhaps they are, or perhaps they've taken up exercise as a way of getting out and about during this dreadful time. The government have announced this evening that the lockdown will proceed for a minimum of another 3 weeks, something that I utterly agree with. My message so far has very much been stay safe, and you can stay safe only by staying indoors, either completely or as much as is possible, other than for an emergency, work that is actually necessary rather than necessary to you, and of course to attend the doctor or a hospital and to get medication. I don't believe enough people are doing this. I think people are out and about all day long. The traffic that I saw when I had to go out as a necessity, because I'm a key worker, today was more than I would have expected in those circumstances. I watch a YouTube video by somebody called Different Russia. It's a lady who basically is telling us about how Russia's dealing with the pandemic, and I'm impressed from her videos about the lack of traffic on the roads, the lack of people on the streets, the polite social distancing in the supermarkets. She went to a large supermarket and showed us that the shelves were stacked. They had row after row of toilet paper, eggs, bread, flour, whatever you wanted, not at inflated prices, in fact at prices that we would be very fortunate if we could pay them. Why do I think we need a further 3-week lockdown? Well, I think from everything that I see that the virus is still spreading, people are still dying, and that this has to be stopped as soon as possible. I hear people on the radio and other media complaining that it's a breach of their liberties. Why should they stay in? What's the danger? I hear a man from Texas who's organising a large gathering outside the governor's mansion in Austin, Texas. His view, and that is his view, is that all the free restrictions of movement are an infringement of civil liberties, and that people should be out on the street in mass. Whereas in Valley County in Montana, people are wearing wristbands, coloured wristbands, issued by their local Department of Health that says that they are from that area and that they are staying safe. Anybody not wearing one cannot enter a public building. Again, I think a good idea, some good thought by somebody out there. The thoughts about the coming out of the lockdown, in my view, are that we should be very cautious, that the government are being criticised that they aren't publicising their thoughts on coming out of the lockdown. I don't think people realise that this is unique. This is a unique set of circumstances, something that I hope none of us, and especially young people, will ever have to go through again. And therefore there aren't really any precedents, and that people are thinking on their feet and I have no doubt whatsoever that the government is acting in the best interest of the people. I applaud the comment by Sir Keir Starmer, the new leader of the Labour Party, saying that he agreed with the furtherance of the lockdown, but he would like publication or more vocalisation on the plans to come out of the lockdown. My view on that is yes, but also this should be a non-political decision, that all parties should be getting together. There should be an all-party committee on COVID-19, and the decisions then can be made in the best interests of the country, of constituents, not in the interest of MPs, not in the interest of political colour, but purely in the interests of the country. There are an awful lot of intelligent, qualified people out there who are in a better position than any of us. I still hear all the time false news, and I urge people that when they read something or they hear something put passed on to them by somebody, that they should check the sources, check where it's come from. Don't accept everything at face value and pass it round. I don't know why people are so keen to scare us with fake news, but that is a fact of life. That not only private members of society but newspapers and media are quite prepared to do. It sells airtime and it sells newspaper space, I suppose. I heard, or I listened to yesterday, a video from an American lady. Again, she's not medically qualified in any shape or form, but she likened the symptoms of coronavirus or COVID-19 to that of air sickness that people feel at altitude, or mountain sickness that they feel of altitude. And the COVID-19 symptoms, as described in the way the illness develops, she has found incredibly similar. And she has said, and this is her opinion, that the medication that is freely available for mountain sickness could or may be more beneficial to people with coronavirus or COVID-19 than ventilators in emptying the lungs and getting air into the lungs. Again, I don't know, but it's something that should be looked at. Well, I've spoken long today. Perhaps I've repeated some of what I said yesterday. I'm new to this. I thank everybody who has watched me. I imagine my lovely family and friends, but other than that, thank you for anybody that does. Please let me know what you think and press the button to subscribe. Thank you.